My bully. This story happened literally in middle school. I'm in the 7th grade, and I can't exactly wait to get out of 7th grade. This kid I used to know, let's call him Dennis. Dennis was always a big jerk to many of the nerd kids. Sadly, I became one of those targets that he usually loved to pick on and even laugh at. This kid Dennis, I tell you, he was a mental mind and always liked to mess with people's heads. When I say that, I mean literally get inside of your head. It was like you never did forget him. How could you? The first time you meet him, he did a lot of crazy things that make you not forget this guy. He said a lot of things that sometimes will mess with your head altogether. He said he had problems dealing at home, and pretty much the reason why he did the things he did. What a dumb excuse. Dennis was always such a jerk to many of our children in school, mainly the kindergarten kids, and sometimes like to throw their lunch trays at them. Surprisingly enough, he did not get in trouble for this too many times. The only time he got in trouble is when he did it in front of the teacher. The reason why any of us hasn't gone to the teacher is mainly because we were scared of Dennis. Dennis always had a threat saying he would do something to us after school if we did not keep our mouths shut. If we went and talked to the teachers about it, it would become an entire mayhem. Sometimes he can make your life a living heck. The things he did was completely out of line, such as following kids home and literally breaking their things. It was like this kid was purposely doing the things he did, but he was. He said he did this because he had problems at home. I said it before, and it's really dumb to the point where I really didn't even care. It made no sense at all. Kids deal with problems at home, but not problems to the point where they start hurting other kids. Sometimes it probably does happen, and just get off the topic. This kid Dennis was really becoming mayhem for all the kids in school. We used to call him literally Monster Mayhem. That was his nickname that he was mainly known around school. Whenever we saw him, we referred him as Monster Mayhem. We would get out of Dodge and try to stay out of his sight. But there was always something he always knew. Dennis pretty much became to the point where we did not want to go to school. He got so creepy to the point where things started to really take a weird turn, such as him literally threatening to do something to our families. Things I won't even get into, as it is too much to even talk about. This kid Dennis was really taking things a little too far. This kid would stick gum in people's hairs and literally spit in their face. And somehow he was getting away with this with ease. We eventually got fed up and contacted the principal and told him what Dennis was doing. The principal told me that they would deal with Dennis. The following next day, Dennis didn't come to school. I heard that he had gotten expended for 3 days. Expended? I wanted him expelled. All of us did. The day it was over of his 3-day suspension, he didn't go to school. We pretty much thought we were in the clear and thought he did not want to come back. We were wrong. The day after we got done from the last school day, we were on our way home after school. We saw Dennis trotting across the street, messing with some kid. This kid looked like he had a broken nose. We knew it was broken because it was bleeding very bad. I got fed up seeing it, and I went over to stop Dennis. Dennis turned around real fast when he saw me coming. He tried to throw a punch, but I managed to actually dodge it. Dennis wasn't all so bright on actually punching people, and most of the time he would miss. I managed to get back as he tried to throw a second punch. I told him that if he didn't leave this kid alone, I would call the police. Dennis stopped and looked at me, gave me this serious stare, and responded saying if I did, that kid wouldn't be the only one with a broken nose. This was a threat, and it pretty much made me so angry that I pretty much had this attitude. I said, okay, if you want to be like that, then put your hands up and let's fight. I was going to defend this kid, and pretty much in the back of my head, I did not know why. I started questioning myself if this was really worth fighting. And then this big voice in my head told me that this needed to be done, and this kid needed to be put in his place. I pretty much ended up beating him really bad, and this guy literally takes off running. One of my friends said, yeah, now you better run. I helped the kid that got his nose broken, and his name was Sam. Sam told me that Dennis was hitting him because he didn't give him lunch money, so he skipped school altogether. This kid was a psycho, and I just did not want to put up with him anymore. We told the cops, and the next day, Dennis was expelled for good. From what I heard, he moved over the country to Russia. Don't exactly know why, but I heard that's where he came from. All I can say is, Dennis, let's not meet again.